What's up, YouTube land? Xeno Gaming here, and welcome to round 10 of the Pro Am Formula Racing League. And today we are at the Russian Grand Prix for Sochi. So, a little bit of explaining to do with this particular round of league racing. The Pro Am Formula Racing League is doing their own version of a sprint qualifying, so it's a different format to normal. So normally you do a short 20-minute qualifying session, then the 50% race. Today we're doing sprint. I guess it's a randomized grid. Not sure how they worked at the grid. Don't know if it was based on championship order. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm starting 7th, for instance. Don't think it's based off championship order. I think it's just a random grid. But then yeah, it's going to be a 5-lap sprint race to determine the grid for the actual race. So that's how that is all working today. So no messing around. We're getting straight into the action here today. And we are starting from, as I said, 7th. So not a bad spot to start. Hopefully we can just avoid the carnage and get a good start and a clean run here in this 5-lap sprint race. But however, the 5 red lights are on and it is go here in Russia. And we don't get a great start off the line. There's been an accident already. And the 3 cars there all went for the same pace of track, and that doesn't work. We're now getting slipstream covered by Herbina, and we go down the inside of Raz, but we're not enough alongside. And now Wallace has got a good run around the outside. He got a really good run through turn 1. We were pinched on the inside, and then he gets a really good exit and gets around us at turn 4, heading into 5. Now I'm trying to file back in here, but I couldn't quite do that. There was a bit of contact, and now Herbina gets underneath me into turn 6, and now I'm once again trying to slot in here, but he and Wallace have contact. Herbina spins. I avoid the contact there. Now Felix is down my inside, so I can't get a clean corner here. Here I run wide to avoid contact. I give up position though to Felix, who is quicker than me. Anyway, and now I'm see if we can just settle in here for a few corners without having to go side by side with the car. And we do that here for the next few corners. But now we have Freestyler behind us, and he's only 2/10 behind us here already, so I'm already immediately back under pressure coming in through the 3rd sector here, as we're currently in 5th place. So we've gained 2 positions here on this first lap, but it feels like we could have been a little bit further ahead with a cleaner run here. Unfortunately, we go wide here at this first left-hander, and then we get a terrible run through the second left-hander. I have a huge oversteer moment. I see Freestyler behind. I tried to close the gap. Unfortunately, I closed it too much, so I have to put my hand up. I think that one is a bit my fault. I think it is my fault. I closed it too much, and nothing happened to him. He was able to keep going. I spun. Luckily, there is no damage. So for this 5-lap sprint, unfortunately, the tyres are completely hot. So I have another silly little spin at the penultimate corner, and now we're all the way back in 17th position. So that's a really unfortunate opening lap, and that's put us way down the order. Now I'm not got a lot of time to make it back up really.
Yellow flag.
So next lap, Iron Apple has a spin, so that promotes us to 16th position. And now moving all the way to lap 4, I'm trying to catch these guys ahead, and I just can't do it at the minute. And here is Nukes having a spin in the Alpine, so that promotes us to 15th. You can see we're 2 seconds behind. You can see both the guys ahead actually have 2-second time penalties. So if we can just get within those 2 seconds, that will give us a further 2 positions on the grid. So 13th would be much better than 15th at this stage. You can see they're actually DRSing, battling each other here into the chicane, and they have a bit of contact here, and they slow each other both down. Felix wins this from 13th in the grid himself, so in 5 laps he's done the job. But here I don't battle Break Bomber, so I don't lose time to Racing Victor ahead, and all I have to do is stay within 2 seconds of both of them, and that is what I managed to do. So it's going to be a 13th place finish here in the sprint race, which is a bad result considering we lose 6 places where we were from the start of the race. And you can see actually it was 15th for Felix, so great job by him avoiding the carnage on that first corner, which was a good result for him. I think just on that first incident, just they all went for the same piece of track, and 3 into 1 don't go. Then I just kept getting attacked, and that incident with Freestyler, I got a horrible run, was trying to defend. Unfortunately, just defended way too late. He was already on my inside, and contact happened. So that is a bit unfortunate. But anyway, these things happen. We will now move on to the race, and the race is as normal. It is a 27 lap race, 50% here at Russia, and it had me starting on the softs. I'm going to start on the mediums, go something different, and start on the softs. But I think a lot of drivers actually end up starting on the medium compound tyre. Some start on soft. I'm not sure exactly what the split was, but excuse me, it was it felt like there was a few on the mediums, a few on the softs. It just depended, I guess, where you were on the grid. I don't know if there's a benefit to either way. I guess we'll find out in this race as it gets underway. But yeah, we've been promoted to now 12th after the grid has been completely sorted out. So I think there must have been a further penalty that had us in 12th. I wasn't going to complain. Extra position on the grid means we're on the inside though, so I'm not sure if I'd rather be on the outside or the inside. My start was okay in the first start, but we'll see how it goes here on the inside of the grid. So anyway, we've got Kev on our left in 11th. We've got the other Red Bull directly ahead of us, and yeah, you can see a few guys on the medium tyres, a few guys on the soft, so it just depends on the driver and their preference, I guess, for this race. The soft tyre is obviously a pretty good tyre around here, not much tyre, but anyway, 5 red lights here for the Russian Grand Prix, and let's go here in Russia, and we make a decent start this time, and we're immediately alongside Kev. We've got the slipstream of Vectre Spectra ahead, and we're going to look to the inside here. And I'm looking for where the brake will just brake, and I've got a car coming down the inside. We get through turn 1 cleanly. We're now into 10th place immediately, made 2 positions, and we're on the outside of Alfa Romeo of Magnum there, and we managed to get around the outside here. I brake early here, avoid Hervina, and then there's a slight bit of contact that forces me to spin, and we get absolutely driven into by Noobs, which is really unfortunate for him. Not much I could do about there. Raz looks like he's also had a massive incident. Prime time. He's also out of the Grand Prix. So yeah, I thought I braked early, and then I realised I was going to drive into the back of Havana, so I went to the inside of him just to avoid contact, and then I had just picked up a bit of understeer, and I just slightly touched his rear. I didn't want to cut the corner and pick up a penalty either, and unfortunately it's set me into a spin, and I've been cleaned up there. Luckily I'm not out of the Grand Prix, but my side pods have taken damage, so going to be less downforce on the car. So that's a bit of a shame. Not much more I could really do. I probably could have avoided it, but yeah, it's very difficult in the heat at the moment. You can see some cars in the pit lane, whether they're changing strategy or damage, I'm not sure. But we're now in 14th position as we're ready for a restart here on lap number 5 of this Grand Prix. It was a long safety car period, but ready to go on the medium compound tyre, and we're off and running. So not the best restart here on the opening lap, but we'll see what we can do here. We've got to get used to the car. I definitely think I didn't necessarily feel it, but I definitely think that I was slower. You can see Wallace there having a moment, so we now move up into 13th position, which is nice. And now coming on the very next lap, coming into the exact same complex. I used a more curve than I wanted there, and then I just looped the car, slightly distracted by Magnum there, who had a moment himself. And yeah, unfortunately we now drop all the way back to 18th position here, actually 17th position, because Iron Apple is, yeah, I'm not sure, I think he's a lap down. That was weird, but yeah. Now Gupta here has had a huge accident through turn 4, and that's brought out another safety car here on lap 7 of this race. So I've dived into the pit lane for a set of soft compound tyres. My teammate also pitting, but I was already last, so it doesn't really matter about a double stack here. And yeah, we're switching to the softs to obviously get rid of, because I was thinking about it, like, I've got to do if I stay out in the mediums, I've got to do a stop anyway to switch back to the soft, so I might as well go soft here and then go soft again. So that was the thinking at this stage of my thought process. So that's what we do, get rid of that. Unfortunately, we can't fix any of the damage. That's done and dusted. So then as I was coming round here, I see that Wallace here actually peels off into the pit lane, and he goes from a soft to a medium compound tyre. I didn't think to do that. I didn't think to go back to the medium compound tyre and not have to worry about another pit stop to the end of the race. So like, if the safety car doesn't come in, I'll do that, but then it did come in, so I didn't have that option. But Wallace is on the medium tyre, so we'll see how he fares compared to us in this race. We're lucky, did a bit of desync there on the Ferrari, and we don't use any front wing there. But we're now all get a penalty, so now we're back to the restart here. We've got soft tyres, so we're going to make the most of them here on the restart, and we get not a great restart compared to my teammate who's on a slower tyre, or Wallace. You've got Iron Apple who's completely out of the race. Unfortunately, his car will be out of the track, but it will be ghosted, so we'll be able to drive straight through it, no problem. And you can see the cars ahead all battling very, very hard, going 2-3 wide all over the track here. I'm taking the clean approach and just trying to stay out of it. But here we're going to get a much better exit. We've got soft tyres here, and we're going to go down the inside of our teammate who backs out of it, I think, and we're down the inside now of Big Boy. He's on the hard tyre actually, and we get much better purchase and grip through the corner, and a bit of battery there to get into, once again, 13th position. So now just hoping to stay out of trouble. We've learnt from our spins and our mistakes all in the sprint qualifying in the first 10 laps, and now we're just going to stay clean here. You can see these guys battling very hard, Mercedes and the Haas of FaZe Pantera, the championship leader, if you don't mind here, and Potsy, we're just going to call him Posey or whatever, the Mercedes, here on the medium tyre, struggling a bit here, and we're going to make the most of our soft tyres here. We go a bit wide there. Luckily don't pick up a warning there, which is good, but now no DRS, but we've got plenty of battery use. He goes defensive, so I go to the outside using the battery again to get fully alongside, but he's got the line into the corner, so we can't make the move around the outside. But you can see here, coming through the low traction zone, how much better traction we get compared to him on a soft tyre, and we're able to go down the inside and make it quite an unusual overtake into the last sector, but it's a clean move, and we move now into 12th place, back where we started here after 11 laps. So we now have Magnum ahead of us, and the DRS enabled. We're now got the Ferrari out of the Grand Prix though at the last corner. There was a bit of a desync accident there between him and Wallace, which was, I don't think it was any fault of any driver, it was just really unfortunate. So we are now use the chance with a third safety car to come back into the pit lane and put on a medium compound tyre to go to the end of the Grand Prix. Because obviously my soft wasn't going to go to the end of the Grand Prix. But then I'm looking around and I see everybody that's pitted has all come in to put onto a soft tyre. And then I looked at there's at this stage 14 laps to go. And the softs can roughly do around 11, 12 laps. 11 laps probably at most, maybe 12 at most here around this track. And I was thinking, man, do I really, should I go back onto, when the safety car finishes, which is coming in this lap, so there's going to be a good 13 laps still to run, so I think that I'm going to be better off on the medium compound tyre, so I decided to stick with that tyre, and I'm hoping they might be faster in the first 5 laps, but after that I hope I have the faster tyre for the rest of the Grand Prix. So we'll see how it goes here on the third safety car restart. We are back in 13th position, so we haven't lost much in terms of pitting. We've got the 2 Mercedes directly behind us. Everybody seems to be on soft tyres. There are a few guys on mediums ahead, but I'm one of the only ones on medium tyres. But you can see here now lap number 16, and you can see quite a bit of traffic we're in, and we're going to see if we can find a way just not to get caught up and involved in any silly accident. But you can see Cavudi ahead here, trying to go around the outside of Wallace here, and takes to the escape road there, and actually takes position and picks up a penalty. So a bit naughty there, overtaking off the track. So he should have given that position back to Wallace, but I guess he hasn't yet. And now Wallace probably would be wanting that place back, but doesn't get it back. So now we've got to try and see, and he's actually on the medium compound tyre like ourselves, so we're fighting him directly here, and we're going to see if we can find a way to get past him but we're going to do it cleanly and smartly. And he seems like he's actually dropping off compared to the guys ahead, and we're hanging on his rear. So we go a bit wide here in his dirty air. No, we don't. That must be the next lap that happens. But yeah, a whole heap of cars ahead. There's still no DRS at this stage. We've actually got Big Boy slipstreaming us behind on soft tyres, and I go to the middle of the track just to make sure he doesn't have a think about it into the chicane, and he thinks better of it. So you can see how many cars are going side by side here into this last sector. You got, I think that's Greg Bomber there having a battle, and yeah, very everyone's fighting very hard and very close, and I'm just trying to keep my nose clean, not to do anything silly, trying not to pick up a penalty. You can see a few guys with penalties already that we at this stage be beating, and I'm also just trying to protect the tyre as much as I can. We've got DRS here now enabled, so we'll see if that helps clear some of these battles. I go very deep into turn 1 and I have to go off the track there. Luckily don't pick up a warning there, but I lost a lot of time there, and luckily Big Boy isn't able to take advantage there and get past. So yeah, didn't realise how much speed I had there going into turn 1. Almost rear-ended Wallace there, which would have been bad for both of our races, but managed to avoid any accident, and we pick up a warning there. That's where we pick up a warning, just a bit of dirty air, I think that was, and just maybe a little bit of understeer in the car as well with the less downforce. But you can see here a whole lot going on, just cars everywhere, and I'm trying to just stay clean. You can see Great Bomber again, he's battling Magnum up the inside. There's Kavudi in there as well. Wallace is having a look to see if he can get past some people, and I'm kind of hanging back here, and you can see Great Bomber here actually taps the back of Magnum here. Face Pantera spins to the inside. You can see Magnum goes to the outside, so we're able to gain 2 positions there. And yeah, not trying to do anything silly here. I'm going very slowly, just trying to see if I can pick up any mistakes here. Great Bomber and Wallace have a little tangle, and Great Bomber, yeah, he doesn't do that very well. So now we've got a good slipstream and DRS on him, and yeah, he was able to defend at the last 2 corners, but this is he's lagging a bit. I go down the inside here now, just outbrake him here. A really nice move actually. Didn't think that would happen. I thought I was going to have to fall back in line, but yeah, nice move there to get ahead of Great Bomber, who's on a soft tyre, and make that move stick. But he looks like he's struggling for a bit of pace. But now we're attacking Wallace, who hasn't got DRS here. I think better the move into the chicane, so he defends there as well. But now I get a much better run here through the left-hander, like I did before earlier in the race on the Mercedes. But this time I'm not close, so I try to back out of it. He turns across, and he also ghosts and desinks, and there's contact, I guess, but there's not much I can really do about it. I didn't actually touch him on my end. Unfortunately, he spins. We get a position. A couple cars come into the pit lane, Ash and Freestyler. So that's now P7 for us. All of a sudden, we've actually got a bit of space in the track ourselves. We've got Kev ahead and Hervina moving to lap 21. They've pulled a bit of a gap. These guys ahead, and we've got the Mercedes behind. We pick up a second warning here, so now I know I've got to be careful not to pick up another warning. So. And now it's just about trying to pull in Hervina ahead, who's on the same tyre, and keep Potts Posey behind in the Mercedes. And that's what we do. We've pulled the gap to Mercedes behind. We've reeled in Hervina here, and we've now got DRS assistance. It seems like Kev and Kavudi ahead are a little bit too quick for us today, so we're not worried about those guys. We're just worried about trying to get past Hervina for position number 5, which would be a really good result considering the qualifying and the race we've had. So here we go, DRS on Hervina, and we're getting a pretty good run here. Good slipstream, good DRS ability. He doesn't defend. We go down the inside into turn 1 for a pretty routine DRS pass into turn 1 here. And now the next job is to see if we can somehow get within 3 seconds of Kavudi and get position number 4. So as we now go to the start of the last lap, you can see Kavudi is actually now ahead of Kev, so they're battling quite a bit, and he's 4.3 seconds ahead, so I've got to make up 1.3 seconds here on this last lap on him, and I don't think I have that kind of pace advantage on him. I think I'm good to Hervina behind, so it's just about putting in the best last lap possible, see if I can get, but you can see Kev and Hervina battling quite hard. Kev is quite close here going in through turn 4 and coming now into turn 5. So as they roll round here, and Kev gets a pretty good exit out of turn 5. You can see Kev Rudy's on the inside, Kev's on the outside, and Kev actually sweeps around ahead into turn 6 and costing those guys about a second their worth of pace. So now Kev Rudy's only 2.2 seconds ahead. I managed to hold that gap through the last lap here. Kev finishes 3rd on a podium, Kev Rudy 4th, and I managed myself to finish P4. Yeah, Kev Rudy ends up dropping to 6th, Vina P5. Charlie wins the race. I believe that's his first win. So congratulations to him. Well done. Great race. Felix finishes 2nd. And Kevin 3rd. Congrats to him on a podium finish. With myself in 4th. I can't believe I've ended up 4th in that race, considering how qualifying went. Qualifying 12th. And then spinning on the opening lap, getting side pod damage, which I'm sure that was costing me some lap time. Not sure how much exactly. And then, yeah, having a spin early in the Grand Prix, and then having to pit every safety car because I maybe didn't make the best strategy call. And then on the last stint, maybe not having the best tyre, having a medium tyre, but you know, just getting the job done, making some good moves, and just I think done a really good race. I'm really happy with how it ended up, to end up in 4th position. So yeah, really happy with how that unfolded. So I'll take that, and we'll hopefully go into the next race, which will be at the Japanese Grand Prix. I don't know if I'll be able to race it though, because next week, obviously, as you know, Formula 1 is in Melbourne, so don't know if I'll be able to race that one. So we'll see. I probably won't be able to, because it is next week, and the date is scheduled for next week. So you probably won't be able to race that one. I'll be at the Grand Prix myself. Looking forward to F1 being finally back in Melbourne after 2 or 3 years. But anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode. I do have the standings here. This is obviously before the results. This is after the results from last week. So it hasn't. Yeah, I couldn't be bothered updating that myself. But that's from before the race. I've just done it here at the end of the video just to show you what it looks like. You can see we sit there on 20 points. We finished in 4th, so that's an extra 8 points. Obviously, it's not the same point system as the official point system. It's a bit different. So anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I think it's been one of the better ones from this season. Russia always seems to throw up some really good leg races for my videos, it seems. But anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and I'll see you guys for the next video. I'll do some career mode videos this week, and I'll don't think there'll be a league race next week, unfortunately, because I'll be at the Grand Prix. But the one after that is the US Grand Prix, so we'll see how that all unfolds. But until then, guys, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.